Hello, Libra, and welcome to your full moon in Gemini reading. This is for the full moon in Gemini taking place on the 4th of December at 13 degrees of Gemini. So you can look at 13 degrees of Gemini, 13 degrees at Sagittarius. This will give you, in your birth chart, this will give you additional information as to what houses are being affected and impacted with this full moon. So the first card that came up and fell out, I literally got to pick this off the floor, is the strength card. When I see this specific strength card, right, you can see all the wind blowing around this person. This is talking about an energy that has just weathered a storm. This is someone who has persevered through some tumultuous energy, some very challenging energy. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups. I feel it's smoother sailing now, or somebody is entering into a time of calmer waters. Smoother sailing is what it feels like to me. The next energy, you had two that show up for the next card. Yeah, someone has gone through something. I feel like they have weathered a storm. It feels to me like they've um, I feel come to terms with the betrayal. Like, I feel like there was a betrayal that was discovered, and they have come to terms with this. They have persevered through whatever the challenge was. They have made some choices and decisions, and I feel like they're turning their back on a situation. They're taking their power, they're moving forward independently. Nine of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Wow. All right, let's keep moving. Again, this could have already played out. This could be what's playing out. This could be what's happening during this full moon. These cards do want to keep falling out. This is the second time I've had to pick one off the floor, and there's only three out here. Here's the fourth one. This did come out in reverse. It's the Lover's card. I feel like in the past there was a bad choice or a decision. A Lover's card does talk about choices and decisions. So I feel like, again, it does give me that energy that in the past there was a choice that was made, and I feel like it brought a lot of challenge with this choice. So this could very well be somebody who, it doesn't have to be in regards to a relationship. It can be, you got to take what resonates, release what doesn't, because this is a general reading. It's not going to fit the same for everybody, but it does feel to me that there was a choice that was made in the past, ultimately leading to a lot of sabotage, a lot of betrayal. Somebody really had to persevere, weather a storm. I feel like they recognize now where they went wrong or what choice they made that ultimately put them on the path that they were on. And I do feel like they've made a different choice, like they're heading in a new direction. They're making a choice to see it for what it truly is. Here's the Messenger of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So I do feel like this is that news, that information, this conversation. It definitely clearly is showing up as somebody taking action, right? Moving forward. I don't feel in the same way that they were. I feel like they've put that behind them. They've, seen how, or, something about how that went wrong, or why that went wrong, or why that didn't work out, that sort of energy. I feel someone rose above it. I feel someone persevered through. I do feel some very tumultuous energy. There's no doubt about it. With the Ten of Swords out here and the Lover's card in reverse, this definitely feels like a very turbulent energy. And then the next card showing up was the Five of Wands. It feels like it was a very chaotic situation, a lot of chaos, a lot of drama, a lot of conflict, a lot of challenge came through. It could have been in a relationship, but it could have also been within a family dynamic when I'm seeing the Ten of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Underneath the Ten of Cups, I'm seeing the Ace of Pentacles, right? Ten of Cups to the Ace of Pentacles. I feel this is that energy showing up, talking about heading in a new direction. There's that Ace of Pentacles, planting a new seed or planting a seed somewhere different. Um, with the intent to bring peace and harmony, happiness and joy to their life. Like, this is somebody, like I said, who I feel has persevered through some energies and is now officially heading into a different direction. So let's grab one more card and we'll start clarifying. The next card that comes up, I cannot, I mean, these You know, if you've watched this for any amount of time, like the Ten of Swords, that's a challenging energy. That Lovers in reverse, challenging energy. The Five of Wands showing up, challenging energy. Seven of Swords showing up, challenging energy. In the past, there has been a connection, some sort of, whether this was you connecting with a career, a job, an opportunity in the past. I feel like it has really instead of elevating you, it feels like it was dragging you down, bringing a lot of sabotage, a lot of burdens, a lot of challenge. They're with the Seven of Swords. Someone did something with intent. They were sneaky, deceptive, maybe trying to take something. If this was in regards to someone's work, this could be where someone was taking someone's idea or taking credit for someone else's work. And it really put the person who was, the official person in a place of missing opportunities because, like, I feel like somebody else was claiming victory over something that was not theirs. It gives me that energy. I do feel like this has all been exposed or is being exposed. Someone can see this for truly what it is. That can be why this person has so much strength and has persevered this situation, because their gifts, their skills, their intellect, their creativity, that's going to go wherever this person goes. So people can try to copy and um, pretend to be or try to fill shoes that they'll never fill, because when that energy walks away, so does all that creative energy, so does all that innovation, so does all that intelligence. It goes with them. So I kind of feel like there was an energy, like, this gives me a copycat. This gives me an energy of somebody wanting to sabotage someone, and deceive them in a way where they look like they're the creative one, or they're whatever this is, like the better one. I don't know if this is relationship or career for some of you. I kind of feel like there's a combination of both here. That's so, take what resonates, release what doesn't. The first two cards coming out to clarify that strength card is the Six of Swords to the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is now shown up out here twice. We'll talk about this Six of Swords because that talks about somebody being spiritually guided away from turbulent energies, away from deceptive energies. This is being guided forward towards calmer waters and a new beginning. The Moon card is on the bottom of the deck. This may not have even been out yet. Somebody may intuitively know something funky is going on. They couldn't quite put their finger on it, but they had this vibe. I'm feeling they kind of have an idea, but not necessarily the physical validation. I feel like this is something that's been trying to be hidden. Underneath it, I am seeing the Temperance Angel. So I do feel like there is angelic support and guidance that is going to balance some things out, bring peace, balance, and harmony to someone's physical reality. I feel by way of a new beginning, because that Ace of Pentacles has shown up twice, and I do feel like this is like, when people describe a blessing in disguise, I feel like this is what they're talking about, right? I feel like, whatever, like I said, somebody. I feel like somebody was just taking, it's almost like a wannabe, like trying to be somebody they're not, or claim to be a great leader, for example, and not be. Because I do feel for some of you, this is in regards to work. So in the past, something has taken place. The next card that shows up is the Four of Cups. I feel in the past, when this was initially offered to somebody, this opportunity, I feel like it was all dressed up, looking good, feeling good, sounding good, all of that thing, but somebody couldn't necessarily see what was in this, right? In that Ace of Cups, there's the Nine of Pentacles for the second time. You have a lot of things doubling out here already, I can see. Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, put those together, that's the Ten of Pentacles. Somebody is destined for great things. They're destined for a solid physical foundation, and whether that be in relationship, their family dynamic, their friendship circle, or their career, whoever I'm talking to is destined and meant for something very solid, stable, that's going to grow, evolve, that's going to be prosperous and abundant. And I feel like something was trying to cut into that, or to dismantle that, or to claim that. And I just don't see that being the way it goes down. But we'll keep moving. Let's see what wants to come out with that. Yeah, look, it's not going to happen. There's that Eight of Wands. This talks about things happening quickly. It talks about propelling someone forward. You see these wands moving up. So I do feel there is going to be some sort of ascension and quick movement forward. You could see an opportunity that shows up. Whatever this is, it's bringing someone towards victory, being recognized for the job that they do, for their creative skill set. Like I said, I feel somebody walking away from a situation, and when they do, they're taking their gifts with them. They're taking their intuition, they're taking their creative energy, they're taking their innovative thought process. All of that energy is going with them. That is not something you can duplicate, replicate, anything like that. Look, the Justice card to the Eight of Cups is coming out to clarify that Three of Wands. This is giving me that indication that justice is being served, the scales are being balanced, and it already shows me that there has been an injustice somewhere along this way. And whatever this injustice is, somebody is walking away from. They're walking away from these energies that I feel are greedy, that are take, take, take. See all these hands out, gimme, gimme, gimme. Like, this is an energy. Give me your time, give me your energy, give me your resources, give me your thoughts, give me your ideas. It's like, I want, want, want. It's that kind of energy. And I feel like somebody is not feeding that energy anymore. That's, somebody has persevered through whatever this storm was. They've weathered a storm, and now they've weathered a pretty intense storm. This isn't just a little sporadic rain shower. This feels like a very tumultuous energy that rolled through, because there was a lot of deceptive energy behind the scenes, sabotaging, backstabbing, creating conflicts where there didn't need to be any, trying to get away with something, sneak, steal, lie, that sort of energy. So, whoever this person is that's coming out of here has some serious strength. I can just feel that from a mile away. So let's clarify the Lovers in reverse. Tell us why this Lovers in reverse. I feel like this is in regards to a choice. Somebody is walking away from a choice that they made in the past. I feel like it's the person who chose. I feel the person who's walking away is the person who chose to move forward and do something in a authentic way. Like, that somebody is a good person is walking away from a bad situation, right? And the bad situation, I feel, is going to collapse on itself. I cannot make it up. Look what that popped right out. There's the devil card. Yes. There's been something that somebody has been bound to or been connected to that's been toxic. It hasn't been for their greater good. It's kind of like, this is somebody who is meant to evolve, to ascend, to um, enhance their life in some way, shape, or form, like be promoted. If we're talking about a job, and it's like there was this toxic energy, like, this is if your boss feels threatened, right? That you're going to end up being ultimately ranked higher than them or promoted to a better position than them. Behind the scenes, they've been doing some stuff to kind of block, stop, prevent that, hold somebody back. Look, Lover's card again. And in this specific Lover's card, you could see that one person is there and one person is like ghosted, right? It's like a just an illusion of somebody. And I feel like this is in regards to that choice. So at that point, when that choice was made, I feel like whatever the opportunity was that somebody ultimately made, accepted the choice, the decision, or the opportunity. I don't feel like they could see something coming. Like, I feel like if maybe this is your friend who suggested an opportunity for you or an opening or something like that. You ultimately took that, and then they're kind of I feel somebody felt threatened of somebody reaching a higher status than someone else. That's just how I'm feeling. And that's where I feel where the injustice came in, is because once somebody started feeling this threatening energy, they became a toxic energy if they weren't already, right? Where they were doing things behind the scenes, sabotaging, betraying, creating problems, conflict, that sort of thing. I feel like this full moon is going to illuminate that. It's going to, like, I feel shatter the illusion, right? Of that. I kind of feel like this is definitely a situation Like if this is specific to a career, a job, an opportunity, like somebody's going to lose somebody good because they entertained somebody deceptive and bad. And I feel whoever this good energy is that has gone through quite a whirlwind of deception and, like I said, chaos and sneaky things happening behind the scenes. I feel like this is a person who just, with integrity, who is just like, I'm not going to be disrespected like this. Ultimately, walking away as a result of the level of disrespect or sabotage or all of that. This is somebody who already knows that this is not in alignment. This is not bringing them anywhere good. If you have to stay in the energy or in the work environment or home environment or whatever this is, you know there is nothing good coming out of this, because if the toxic energy remains, right, it's going to continue to be toxic and to taint energy, continue to be deceptive, sneaky behind the scenes, sabotaging, that sort of energy. Somebody is, they're not doing that. I just don't see them doing that. So let's get some more clarity to go along with this bad choice. This, there was a choice, something to do with an energy that is toxic, that's trying to keep somebody stuck. The Wheel of Fortune, that's done and over. There's a Wheel of Fortune. Somebody's being liberated. The wheel is moving and someone's going to get stuck. This stuck energy gives me the feeling of whoever was behind the Ten of Swords, Seven of Swords, Five of Wands. It gives me that the injustice that was done, somebody's going to be stuck. They're going to be caught up in something. I do feel like they're going to want to offer an apology, some sort of energy. I do feel straight up apology. So that's just how I'm feeling with that. But I don't feel they're going to be accepted. I feel like they're, not that their apology won't be accepted, but I still don't feel like they're going to be welcomed back in with this Five of Pentacles. And underneath it is the Hermit card. And there is the Hermit discovering the snake. Sorry, this is the Hermit card discovering the snake, right? And I just feel like they're not going to openly accept this energy back into their circle, into their aura, into their, and their vibe, like the energy that's around them. I just don't see it. I feel like this is somebody who is going to take themselves out of a situation and move themselves into a better situation. And like I said, whoever I'm talking to, like I feel you're the energy that carries that gift of whatever this is. Like I said, your creative energy, your innovative thinking, like you have a gift of greatness that I feel like you are supposed to develop, grow, evolve, allow this gift to bring forth that Ten of Pentacles, right? To co-create with the universe using that fresh start, that new seed, whatever this is, to develop it into the Ten of Pentacles. And I feel like there's been an energy around you sabotaging you as you've been working towards doing this. I feel like this is discovered. Someone's walking away from this. Somebody does want to offer an apology. I'm not necessarily, like I said, I feel like somebody would accept the apology, but I don't feel like they allow that energy back in. I just don't. I feel like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And look, Six of Cups for the second time. You've had a lot of cards come out twice. So these are two different decks. There's 78 cards in each one. So for the two of them to come out in two different decks, that's pretty significant. This feels to me like something that happened in the past. I am seeing the Two of Cups to the Ten of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So this could have been somebody, and it doesn't have to be a partner. I mean, for some of you it could. For others of you it could be a connection. Maybe you were in partners in a work project or something like that, and somebody, like I said, I feel somebody was wanting to claim credit for someone else's work, is how I feel about all of this energy. Just, regardless of what this is, like I feel somebody tried to take something in order to achieve and receive this Ten of Pentacles. I don't feel like that's the way it's going down, whether this be a relationship or a job. I feel like they're, if this is a relationship, they thought this was the end all be all, gonna receive the Ten of Pentacles. I don't feel that. I feel like they're going to be going through a lot of lack, a lot of loss, a lot of energy like that in order to, hopefully do the work, align, and, get right with God, with themselves, with the universe, the Most High, take what resonates, release what doesn't. But I do feel like they're going to have to go through that. And on the other hand, I feel that other energy, like if I do feel someone knows their worth, like they recognize what they bring to the table, their skill set, their innovative thinking, their intellect, their integrity, like it's the whole ball, right? Like somebody holds what it the key to what it takes to move towards and achieve the 10 of Pentacles. Next card that pops out is the 10 of Wands. So 10 of Wands in the wheel of not the Wheel of Fortune, the World is at the bottom of the deck. I want to say that if this is about a work environment, I feel like your boss, the leader of this company or the leader of whatever this is, I do feel like they see something, but I kind of feel like they see it too late. I feel like they had opportunity to see it for what it was and to act on it accordingly, but ultimately I feel like they either chose not to take action or they chose not to do something, and ultimately they're going to be losing a very valuable asset. Again, relationship or career, job, even family. Somebody has done a lot behind the scenes to stab someone in the back, bring through betrayal, bring a lot of conflict, chaos, and BS like that into someone's life, all deceptively, all hiding their hand. This is someone throwing rocks and hiding their hand, no accountability. This person just thought they were going to get away with whatever this is, and I don't feel like they did. Nonetheless, I feel like the part about accountability is coming in like a day late and a dollar short is how it's feeling like to me, because I do feel if there was a leader who recognized this and just didn't act on this, or be that true authentic leader, then they're definitely in the wrong position in that company, right? But it does give me that vibe of somebody wanting to do something about it now, but I feel like somebody has already weathered too much, they've already been through too much, and they've already been taking action to move towards something new, and they're closing this cycle out. This is definitely going to have a ripple effect. I feel a good ripple effect for the person who has taken their power, persevered, moved forward, and aligned themselves with something better, something more solid, something more stable, that sort of energy. And that other energy is going to have to go through that lesson of learning, right? Like, if you don't want to lose good people, then stop letting bad people like run amok and do the most and cause friction, tension, chaos, drama, all that crap, because good people aren't going to stick around and wait for you to clear it up. They're going to move forward. So let's keep moving. Let's see what the next energy wants to show up. Here we go. The next energy that shows up is the Page of Pentacles. And to me, that is representing that opportunity somebody is taking. They're having an opportunity to take an Ace of Pentacles, a new seed. They're planting a new seed. That new seed will grow, expand, evolve. They're going to be liberated from a situation where they've been stuck, or it feels to me like, yeah, it feels to me like this restriction of growth. Like somebody couldn't grow, evolve, promote, whatever this is. Like something wasn't going anywhere. It was constantly being met with things that slowed it down. Like I said, chaos. But it was all something that was done behind the scenes. It was a sneaky, intentional act on the behalf of someone. And now, whoever I'm talking to, like, I feel like it's a wrap for you. You're closing the cycle out, you're moving forward, the wheel is turning in your favor, you're liberating yourself and disconnecting yourself from whatever that toxic energy was. And I just feel like you're moving forward, not looking back, is how I'm feeling. So these messages are from the next deck of cards that I'm using right now is Mindful Messages. These are just messages of motivation and inspiration for you through, working through this energy, or just to help you in some way. The first one says, breathe. It's easy for me to return to the present moment simply by breathing. If I am feeling anxious or worried, I close my eyes and breathe in deeply as I picture myself filling up with white light. Then exhale and envision stress and tension leaving my body. In the moment, I am free to gently stretch and open my eyes, feeling refreshed. So Yeah, I bet somebody is taking a lot of deep breaths. They're making some big moves. There's a lot of major arcana cards out here. Somebody is really making some power moves right now. Like, this is not it. This is not my life. This is not what I am here for. They willingly, they know this, like on a soul level, they know this, and they're acting upon it. They may not necessarily know the direction they're going or what opportunity is going to be there for them, but they know they are destined and meant for something better. And with that Wheel of Fortune being here, it is giving me that. And the world card is here as well. Like, this, it's time for this cycle to close out. It's time for it to change. I feel like someone was going through one of the tougher cycles in life, in some area of their life anyways, and now this cycle, this challenging cycle, is closing out. They're detaching from this, they're disconnecting from the toxic energy, and they're moving forward. The next card that shows up says fuel. I enjoy things that fuel me. It feels great to do things for myself just as much as I do for others. When I make sure I am taken care of, I can better show up for those in my life, and for those and for the work that I do. There's that work energy, speaking of. And yeah, this is it. Like, this is somebody who's not going to waste away, or I can't even say waste away, their skill set, their knowledge, their wisdom, their gift, whatever that is. I don't feel like wasting it away, but I feel like allowing someone else to claim it, to accept responsibility. It's like you write up an entire presentation, and then there's your boss showing it to everybody, acting like they're the ones who came up with this idea. It gives me that vibe, right? This can be in a relationship too, because, like I said, it can be, but I'm just, for whatever reason, I'm feeling really drawn to somebody trying to take and claim something that they're not the originator of, or that they this wasn't even their idea, so to thing. So, I mean, it can be within relationships, within families, that sort of thing, but it does give me the energy that in the past there was a connection. There definitely was a connection, and someone in the connection made a choice to try to get ahead at someone else's expense. This can be in a relationship, can be in a family dynamic, can be in a friendship circle, this, that, and the third thing. But I feel like this is all being exposed, right? And I do feel like somebody is persevering and moving forward through all of this. They're closing out the cycle. They're taking themselves out of the equation. They're moving forward towards that 10 of Pentacles, towards this good fortune, towards the better things in life, and knowing that they'll get there quicker, they'll get there easier by not having these toxic energies connected. Because if somebody's trying to do things behind the scenes and claim something, or attack you and not allow you to grow and glow and evolve and ascend, like, you can accept that apology till you're blue in the face, but does their behavior change? I'm feeling not. So anyhow, let's keep moving. The next card that comes up says, tune in. Last night this came out in someone's reading, and it was so dark in here, and the letters on this are so hard to read on this color. For whatever reason, I struggled with this. Now today I can see it. Tune in. Today, before doing what I normally do, I will take a moment to slow down, to place my hands on my heart space, and take a few deep breaths. I will ask myself what I truly want, and I will honor however I am feeling. So I do feel like somebody is at that point. We are very close to this full moon. So I do feel someone, their little spidey senses are already on fire. I feel like lit right up. Um, and I do feel like maybe somebody is taking a step back, doing a lot more meditation, going within, really doing some soul searching. To me, it feels like they know something's got to give, something's got to go. And I feel like here we are on that precipice, on that threshold of them doing just that. The next card that comes out says play. I am completely engaged in what I do in the here and now. I call it play instead of work. I am deeply fulfilled by all that I do. And I don't doubt that. I do feel like somebody really loves what they do. I feel like it's their gift. I feel like it's their calling. And it's almost like somebody wants somebody else's calling, and that don't work like that. Like, there are people who try it, but it doesn't work like that. You can never take someone's aura, someone's authenticity, someone's uh you just cannot. You cannot. People do try, like the copycats, the wannabes, they'll try to be like somebody else, and they'll be good about sneaking behind the scenes and making it look good, but when it comes down to the wire, they're never going to fill them shoes. They're not. Somebody's lost a good person trying to either entertain or coddle an energy that's, I feel, a wannabe. I don't know why it feels like a wannabe. So the next card that popped out, it says, I am enough, and it says self appreciation. This card says, I will find a moment throughout the day that I can dedicate to myself, find a comfortable space, and bring a pen and paper. I will write a letter of appreciation to myself where I will pour love into who I am and all that I do. Yes, someone has. Like someone is aligned for this, right? And there just feels to me like there was some sort of external energy that was trying to mess it up, slow it down, stop it from happening. That's not the way it's going to go down. This person is going to remove themselves, step back out of that situation, and just move forward in a new direction. And regardless of where this person goes, as with the right support system around them, with the right people, places, things, the right support system, this person is going to thrive, grow, evolve, reach that 10 of Pentacles, right? There is another energy. If you're, this is that I'm not even dealing with the other energy no more. Like this energy just doesn't feel good to me. And it feels like that kind of energy that's just going to try to befriend or connect or interject themselves into experiences probably throughout their life if they don't do the healing, where they're trying to like mimic, copy. It just feels wannabe. Like this person isn't either comfortable with their authentic self, or their authentic self can't bring good things into the earthly realm, is how I'm feeling about it. I'm not trying to throw no tea, no shade on anybody, but it is what it is. So let's pull one more card for you. This is someone moving forward. I do feel very successfully. Good for you. Congratulations. And the next card that shows up is playful. So you've had to play. I kind of feel like somebody was working a little extra hard. They maybe had to really, uh, you know, let go for a minute, or not be able to get out. I feel like they had a lot on their plate trying to navigate whatever this mess was that someone was trying to get them all wrapped up in. I kind of feel someone really had to maybe decline invitations to hang out with friends because they had work to do, or they were trying to figure something out, or their spirit just wasn't feeling it. Because when your spirit is telling you something is wrong, it really doesn't let go. It really just, like, you walk around and you're like, I know something's wrong, and I just, it takes some processing, a lot of meditation. It talks about really doing some soul searching, allowing the energy, things to come in. So I do feel like someone could have, really, I feel like their personal, like, fun part of their life was neglected, trying to straighten out or fix another situation. It could have been because the person was getting frustrated and aggravated watching, like, that has definitely got to piss anybody off when you sit there and put all this work, time, energy, and effort into something. I mean, then you look up and there's somebody walking around acting like, and demonstrating this or putting this out there or speaking this out there like they're the ones who thought of all of this. That's definitely take a toll on a person. I wouldn't worry about them people, because these wannabes, that's it, they're always going to be a wannabe. And at some point, when enough people have recognized who they are without that mask, and this, that they will disconnect. If they want good things in their future, they will disconnect from that energy, and ultimately that energy will be forced to go within, tap into their authentic self, discover what their gifts and talents are, and then utilize those, do their work instead of trying to be someone that they're not. So the next card is that playful energy. And this says, I go about life playfully and take things lightly. I can turn any hard day or heavy burden into a fun adventure. Why spend time upset when there is so much fun to be had? And I did feel that energy. I picked up on this earlier and I did mention it, right? Where I feel like you cannot have some the spirit you carry is the spirit you carry, and there are people who would wish that they could be that spirit, like that liberating spirit, that free spirit, that happy spirit, that nurturing spirit, that quality spirit, right? And this is an energy that I feel doesn't have those traits or attributes or anything like that, but they want them, right? But they don't have them. This is the person I'm talking about that's moving away, that's persevered, that's going towards the 10 of Pentacles. This person conducts themselves through their authenticity, through who they truly are. Like if this is a silly person or a goofy person or a fun person or whatever this is, right? It's that is instilled, that is their aura, that is an authentic piece or a part of them. And somebody is trying to replicate, I feel, or they were trying to replicate it. That's not going down. I feel somebody, though, has recognized this for what it is, and they are being guided to move forward. I do feel they've already experienced some sabotage, some betrayals, some conflicts that have been sat on their plate in front of them, so to speak. And I do feel like they know where they're coming from now, and they're disconnecting themselves from it. They're going to move in another direction, and they're going to take their authenticity with them. And that is a blessing. Their true authentic self is a blessing. And having that connected, associated, or part of will always be a benefit to those that they are connected with. Somebody's taking their blessings, they're moving on, and they're going to allow that other energy. And again, I do feel like in some area of this, there was um, a higher, a higher, you know, if this was a boss, there was a boss who knew there was something going on, but chose to turn a blind eye or not deal with it or hold nobody accountable. They're going to lose a blessing. They're going to lose a blessing trying to pacify a toxic energy or trying to keep the peace with a toxic energy. You will never keep the peace with the toxic energy. It's better to recognize it, see it for what it truly is, and disconnect from that energy. But again, I feel like there is someone who's going to lose a blessing because of this toxic, deceptive, behind the scenes energy. I hope this serves you well, Virgo. I send you peace, love, and light. Please don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. I do appreciate you. Have a great day.